Okay, welcome guys. We're doing our Week 11 NFL recap. I'm here with Dev Donda,
What's
ABL
up, guys?
Sports Analyst, and we're just gonna be talking this about the slate of games this Sunday. It was, my opinion, probably the best Sunday we've seen in probably years, right?
I would say this has been like one of the better NFL like weekends that I've seen in a long time, I will say.
Mm-hmm. Because like I want like it's funny, like I looked at like the schedule, I was like, dude, there's a lot of good games. And one I want to get kicked off with. It was the game I was personally most excited for, Seahawks Rams. Rams beat the Seahawks
Oh God, don't
21-19.
get me started.
I mean, the fact that Darnold had four interceptions and they had a chance to win. Like
Yeah,
if he makes that, if Jason Myers makes the field goal, Seahawks win.
dude. As somebody who used to live in Seattle as a Seahawks fan personally, and as somebody who had money on Darnold throwing at least one touchdown, I was severely disappointed by that performance from the offense. Defense, though, that defense is legit. We're looking at, I think we have another dynasty on our hands, Legion of Boom-esque type of dynasty. Um, I don't think, I think Darnold is a good quarterback, but I don't think he's a permanent solution to their problems. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think just merely off the fact that he threw four picks and they were so very competitive in this game is, I think, is a scary sight for the league.
Yeah, so I looked at this game a little differently than most people. I thought, when there's two teams that are just so good, they're gonna split. I remember, I'm a Chiefs fan, so when Philip Rivers used to be in the division, the Chiefs and Chargers would split every year. Even Mahomes'
Yeah.
first year, the year where he had 50 touchdowns, they split. So I kind of figured whoever lost this game would win next, and it kind of helps that Seattle has a home game against them,
Yeah.
like in the coming weeks. I think it takes place in like 3 weeks. But it's just like I more like kind of my big takeaway from this, I was more impressed with the Seahawks being able to stay in the game despite four Sam Darnold turnovers than I was impressed by the Rams win. And listen, the Rams defense played well. I don't know Chris Sheila, defensive coordinator. I don't know what he does. It flutters Darnold. I mean Donald. Like Sam Darnold. Like he just back in the playoff game last year, even when they played the Rams, the Vikings played the Rams in the regular season, Darnold didn't play the best and they lost. Like he's
Yeah.
0-3 against the Rams in the last year.
Yeah. I mean, I just have reservations about Darnold. I have a good friend that calls him scam Darnold because he'll give you like a very solid performance, but there was always like a game where he just kind of like for am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, you go for it.
Yeah, like he just kind of shits the bed. And I think this was kind of like a shit the bed moment for them. But um I just looking towards playoff time, I just don't know if I can trust him, like to be honest.
Yeah, I think it depends a lot on if they get a home playoff game. And
Yeah.
it's that's why the next game against the Rams is going to be so important because that's going to be for the
Oh yeah.
division basically. And it's just I when the Seahawks signed Sam Darnold, I was a fan of it because I thought,
Hmm.
I wasn't very high on Geno Smith.
Hmm.
And I love the addition of Clint Kubiak, the OC. And when they brought in Darnold, I'm like, I didn't expect him to be this good. I did pick him to win the division in the preseason, but I wasn't expecting like 7-3 in the first 10 weeks. I was expecting more six and
I
four or maybe 5-5.
honestly I didn't even have him with Darnold, I didn't have him that high. I knew the defense was gonna be good, but I thought the offense might be stagnant. And then even like this year, I think we have to talk if we're gonna talk about the Seahawks offense, we have to talk about JSN.
Oh,
Uh,
100%.
number one receiver in the league by far this year, I would say.
Oh, I mean, I think he's in the top five range now. I mean, he made that one-handed catch he made like down the sideline. That
Oh
changed the
yeah,
momentum. The Seahawks had nothing going when he
absolutely.
made that catch, and it kind of like brought them back in a way. And it's just, it was a sloppy game, but it was. I mean, came away more impressed with the Seahawks because, listen, like Darnold's not going to throw four interceptions again. Like,
No,
yes, he has turnover problems, but he,
this is like bottom of the bottom though. This
oh
isn't
yeah,
happening.
like
Yeah.
he's not like for example, like he's not gonna have this bad of a game again. If anything, I thought he was having a better season than last year coming into this game, and I still believe in him. I'm personally very high on Sam Darnold, and I just think that's this Seahawks rosters. I mean, the injury of Griggs Abel, that kind of sucks.
That does
But
suck.
I think this roster's too good. And the Seahawks, okay, whoever loses this division between Seahawks and Rams, that's gonna be the team you don't want to play in the wild card round.
I mean, they're both obviously very good teams. Um, the Rams. scary have always been scary, especially with like Matthew Stafford just being as great as he is. Honestly, like I think this defense could carry them to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
in the
think
NFC, like you look at it, who's gonna like? Because I mean, the Eagles Lions game just wrapped. The Eagles they look fine.
mhm.
The Rams are good. The Bucks, which that's gonna be the next game we talk about.
Yeah.
But it's just like the NFC's kind of wide open. The AFC, I'm still pretty confident. It's a race between the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens. But the NFC, it's pretty wide open.
Yeah, I would say the NFC is pretty wide open. I I think the Seahawks have it just as like a personal like prediction. But I mean, I think the 49ers could take it. I don't think they will. I think the
They're
Rams
too
definitely could.
injured.
Yeah, I think the Rams definitely could take it. Um, and who else in the NFC? Eagles are, I mean, always good. Um, Bears sneaky good, I feel like.
Hmm.
Besides that, I don't think there's any other like in the like the Lions Packers that you always have to mention. But besides that,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like other real competitors in that like in the conference.
Yeah. So, and to switch conferences to go to our next game. This, in my opinion, was the most entertaining game of the day, even though they won by 12 points. Bills 44, Bucks 32. Um, so I want to kind of start by this. Last year when people were calling for Sean McDermott's job, I wasn't really on that bandwagon. I was like, no, he's a fine coach. After this game, it was a little concerning. Like, I like the final 2 minutes of the first half. The Bucks shouldn't have gotten a point, and they got a field goal made at 21-20 at halftime.
Yeah,
The the penalties for the Bills just they're not like lined up right. And also like what concerns me is like Sean McDermott's a defensive guy. That defense is not good.
that
Like
defense is horrible.
they are not good. Like they are allowing, yes, the Bucks are a fantastic team,
Yeah,
and I could very well see them going to the Super Bowl. But this is a team from Florida playing in 30-degree weather. A pass first team, by the way. Like this isn't the Bears
yeah.
where they're running the ball over you. This is a pass first Florida team. They came up to Buffalo and had, I mean, had the fourth quarter not happened and like had like they just not collapsed in the fourth quarter, I think the Bucks win this.
I think the Bucks should have won this. I mean, Josh Allen 6 touchdowns. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Like,
Josh Allen
that's a
took over the game.
historic performance by him. But as I just don't know what happened to the defense. The defense was like pretty good last year, and they lost like I feel like they lost too many guys, and this defense is just kind of buns. It's been a major regression. And on the offensive side of the ball, they really need to look at like they need to find like a start like a star receiver, I guess, or not maybe not star, but they need to upgrade. They need some upgrades in the receiver
Yeah.
room. I would feel
And
like.
it's just like Josh Allen's in his prime right now. He's playing like the best quarter. He's outplaying Mahomes right now.
Yeah.
How many more years of this Josh Allen are you gonna get? And here's the thing, and I defend coaches to the end. I defended Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. I still defend Lincoln Riley at USC. I defended Ryan Day of Ohio State. I defended Mike Tomlin last year.
Mhm.
And with Sean McDermott, I just don't see it. Like I just like y- they they'll get up for some games. They'll get up for the Chiefs game in the regular season. But
Mhm.
in the playoffs, they lose to them. And it's just like with the Bucks, it's just like this should have been a game. And yes, the Bucks are a great team. And if the Bucks didn't lose another game for the rest of the year, I wouldn't be surprised. But this is a game the Bills should have won no problem. And the Bucks are banged up and stuff. And Josh Allen had to be Superman to win this game.
Yeah, he did. And if we can call back to the like last 2 weeks of the Bills, they've
Yeah,
had two bad losses. Like the Patriots are very good. I will say the Patriots are good, but
they should have won that game.
I think the Bills should have won that game. I think like the Bills on paper just should have won that game out flat out right. Like Drake May, amazing. Probably the next time, not the next Tom Brady, but they got a guy in him. But
I see a lot of
even to the
Justin Herbert.
Falcons, like I don't, they should not have lost to the Falcons.
Oh, 100%. And it's just with the Bills, it's like Joe Brady's going to be gone after this year. Their star OC. And I think being an OC for Josh Allen's probably the easiest job in the world. But
Mhm.
it's just like if the Bills if the Bills have an early playoff exit, I think it's
Another
time.
one.
I think it's time to be done with Sean McDermott. It's just this is becoming a reoccurring theme. Like one with the Dolphins game, people were hard on them for that, but I give them a pass on that one.
Mhm.
They're going out Florida, weird game, whatever. But I just if they lost this game, all hell would have broken loose in Buffalo.
I I understand where you're coming from. In terms of playoffs in the recent years, like they lose to the Chiefs every year, but what are you gonna do? The Chiefs have been winning like the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah.
That's understandable, but like they've gotta do something. They've got to find something because the Bills have been perennially good and perennially Super Bowl like contenders. They've just not been able to take that like next leap in the playoffs,
Mhm.
especially. And I can't put like I can't put a finger on like what the specific problem is
Yeah,
versus the defense. Like
I don't know. It's just the fact that Josh Allen's playing this good. I mean, he's going to win MVP. He's got to win MVP again this year with the way he's playing. It's going to, in my opinion, it's between him, Stafford, Drake May, and Jonathan Taylor. But it's just the fact, like, I just think, in my opinion, the Bucks outplayed the Bills for 3 quarters, and just the mismanagement in critical situations is what gets me for the Bills. And if you don't have any more to say, then we can go to the next game.
I think we can go to the next game. This is
Okay.
yeah.
So next game, Broncos 22, Chiefs 19. So I going into this, I was like, this has got to be the Chiefs. They're coming off the bye week. They lost to Buffalo before that, so they're in a bad mood. And both teams started off slow. I mean, I wouldn't say that. The Broncos kind of went down the field, got a field goal on the first drive. And the Chiefs started off relatively slow. But
Mhm.
when Kelsey got the touchdown in the fourth quarter, made it 19-16, I'm like, it's over. Like they're gonna they're gonna like the Chiefs have the momentum.
Right.
And when the Broncos came back, got the field goal, the Chiefs had 4 minutes left to get a game-winning field goal, and they punt.
That I think that's mismanagement.
Hmm. It's
But
just,
they even lost to the Broncos um the last matchup they played. I think that was a while ago though.
yeah, I mean, it was just like a garbage time. It was a Week 18
Yeah.
thing. The Chiefs stars were resting, but they should have lost the first time last year because the Broncos or the Chiefs blocked a field goal.
Yeah.
But it's just like 5-5 if you're a Chiefs fan is scary because it's just like the Broncos have this division wrapped up. They need to win like four more. I'm they're at 9-2. They got to win four more to like wrap up this division.
Right.
And I can look up their schedule right now. I don't believe it's like the most challenging schedule. And
I don't but here's the thing about the Broncos though. Their offense is just so their especially their red zone offense is so like wishy-washy. I don't
yeah,
know what kind of
that
plays
defense was phenomenal though.
that defense is phenomenal, but like Bo Nix, I don't know if I trust Bo Nix.
Yeah,
Bo
okay, so
Nix is
he's go on.
oh sorry. I was gonna say I had the like great pleasure of watching Bo Nix lose to the Washington Huskies like twice, like a couple years ago. But Bo Nix, very talented quarterback. I will say. I think they need to start maybe doing a little more scheme runs or something like that with him. Because he's a good athlete, but he just has so much trouble in the red zone. It's like I don't understand what it is, especially with this Broncos team.
Yeah, so the Broncos game's coming up. So they got to bye this coming week, but then they got at Washington, that'll be a win.
Yeah,
At Raiders, that's going to be a win.
yeah.
Packers at home, that's going to be a tough one, and then Jaguars at home. So they're going to go 3-1 in that stretch at least. If they go 4-0, they lock up the division. And then after the Jaguars, they got at Kansas City, then they got the Chargers in the season finale.
Mhm.
Like they
I well, how do you feel about that Jaguars matchup? Because I feel like
I'm not high on the Jaguars. I'm
really,
I'm gonna be completely honest. I know they've beaten Kansas City. They beat an injured Niners team. You can take that as you
yeah,
will.
that's
But
whatever.
I mean, the good healthy teams they played, they lost to Seattle. They got dominated by the Rams. And I just if the Jags, I mean, I'll pull up their schedule right now. So they got Arizona next week. I
That'll be a
actually think they
win.
lose that one. I think the Cardinals are a
Really?
very underrated team. They got Tennessee. I'll give them that win. They got the Colts. They lose that one. They got the
Yeah,
Jets. I'll give them
that
that win.
that's a win.
And then they at Broncos. So they have probably one, two, I'd say at most 4 wins remaining. So I would put them at 10-7. But it's just The Jaguars, I'm not very high on.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
if we want
Yeah.
to talk about the Jaguars Chargers real quick, I think that's I didn't really know what went on. The Chargers are just completely injured. Um, but yeah, it's just the Jaguars are not a team. If the Chiefs play the Jaguars again, I'd feel very good.
If the Chiefs played the Jaguars?
Again, yeah, I'd feel very good about the Chiefs winning. Like I would not be
Yeah.
sweating
No.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not a believer in this Jaguars team, and I'm also not as high on Trevor Lawrence as everybody else. Like I'm gonna be completely honest. If you were to give me an option to have Trevor Lawrence or Sam Darnold as my quarterback, I'm taking Sam Darnold.
Really? That's
hmm
interesting. What if you put T-Law on the Seahawks?
I'm gonna
Do
be
you think
honest.
do
I
you,
think
do you think they
I
win the game today?
if they win,
I think they
no.
do.
Actually, if he doesn't throw 4 interceptions, yeah. But if you look at their schedule in the past, I think Darnold's won a couple games for the Seahawks. Like if we pull up their schedule right now,
Yeah,
um,
let's back up. He
like
had a he did go nuclear like the other week, like
yeah.
this pretty recently.
So just going like the Cardinals game, I don't think they win that with T Law. At Jaguars, if Darnold's on the Jaguars, I think the Jaguars win that. Um, let's see. Texans, I mean, that was just kind of like a shit show all around. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think T Law is as successful on the Seahawks as Darnold is. I just think Darnold works in Seattle. I'm just a Sam Darnold fan. And I mean I
Yeah.
watched him at USC. I just think Darnold's world's better than Trevor Lawrence. So do you got anything else to say about Chiefs Broncos? Because I'm not concerned about the Chiefs. I'm just kind of like if they can win a
This was
couple
just a
games.
bad game for them, like I would say.
Yeah, and it's just like they're gonna bounce back. They got the Colts this coming week, which is gonna be a tough matchup. But after that, the schedule lightens up a bit. But I
Hmm.
mean, if the Chiefs, I mean, they could very easily go from 5-5 to 12-5. It's gonna be tough, but it's just
The Chiefs are the Chiefs, though. They
yeah, the
they have
Chiefs are the
proven they can
Chiefs,
do it.
and you don't want them to get hot at the right time.
Hmm.
So another game that I mean, I thought this was a good game. Bears 19, Vikings 17.
That was a good game.
hmm
I I personally feel like the Bears are kind of tough to watch, like just as a viewer. But I'm not gonna hate on the Bears. I thought I will say I will give props to the Bears. I would not think they were 7-3 this far into the season. I didn't have them
Oh
as
yeah,
high.
yeah. So I had a very unique perspective on the Bears. So I in the preseason I picked them to go 9-8, and I thought they'd miss the playoffs because I thought the NFC would be so good.
Yeah.
But it's when they were 0-2, I was like, okay, let's look at when they were 0-2, I'm like, let's look who
Let's
they
go.
lost to. They lost to the Lions, who
Which is understandable.
best offense in the league, and they lost to the Vikings, who at the time were still fully healthy. But also, it's like if you look at the Vikings, I mean, Kevin O'Connell, if there was a coach's draft, Kevin O'Connell would be
Kevin,
a top five
I
pick.
think I don't think the Vikings as a team, like the players won that game. I think Kevin O'Connell, I agree with you. I think Kevin O'Connell just masterminded a win out of that game.
Yeah.
I remember watching that game live and especially that like the last 2 minutes of the game with the drive down the field. Kevin O'Connell was just, I think his play calling was amazing. His time management, which I don't under okay, side tangent. I don't understand how professional NFL teams can mismanage like the time clock so often. But
hmm
anyways, the time management was great. That was just a that was just a he just outcoached the Bears. Like,
And yes, and with the Vikings, so funny enough, in the preseason, I actually picked the Vikings to win the NFC North. But my reasoning for that was
really.
I was like, I don't need JJ McCarthy to be what Sam Darnold was last year. If I get 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions out of JJ McCarthy throughout the season, the Vikings go 11-6 because of how good that roster is. I mean, you got Darisaw on the low line, you got a good interior line, you got the probably the best receiving duo in the league, and that defense with Brian Flores is phenomenal. And you don't need a good quarterback, you just don't need a terrible one. And I'm sorry, but McCarthy just played terrible today.
I am
Besides
just
one
not.
drive, besides the final drive, I'll give him credit for that.
I am just not high on McCarthy at all. I don't think he should have gotten drafted as high as he did. Um,
That's
I
interesting you say that.
I'm just not high on McCarthy at all.
That's interesting you say that because I think in a much broader topic, we have quarterback inflation in the draft.
Yeah,
And for example, like JJ McCarthy 10 years ago is not a first round pick. He's a second or third round pick. So I'll say he went to Michigan, so he probably
yeah.
gets drafted a little higher. And I think the same thing with Michael Penix as well.
Hmm.
Like, also, Michael, people are like, why is Michael Penix not good? He had three NFL receivers, and he had two NFL left tackles on it, or left tackle, right tackle on his offensive line at Washington. He had Kalen DeBoer calling play or as
Yeah.
his like head coach, which we're gonna get to the Panthers Falcons game in a minute. That was a
Hmm.
great one. But it's just like with these quarterbacks, even Bo Nix, as good as he played today, he's probably not a first round pick 5, 10 years ago.
No, I don't think so. But
I
I
mean,
just JJ just I don't think he can throw over the middle.
yeah, I mean, look, Jalen Hurts wasn't a first round pick, and that
Yeah,
was only
yeah.
like 5 years ago.
I will say this most recent draft was a very weird one.
Hmm.
Like just
It
as
was
a
a
draft
weak
in gen
one.
it was a weak draft. Um and just people were just getting drafted at like weird spots all around, I will say.
Yeah. And I just, if Caleb was on the Vikings and JJ was on the Bears, I don't even think this is a close game at all. But it's just, and I'm not saying Caleb Williams is great or anything, but it's just JJ, it's like all, like, if you really think about it, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The Vikings are a playoff team. It's just, you don't need JJ to be great. You need him to be, like, you saw with Sam, okay, with an MVP, the Vikings
Mhm.
were a 14-win team last year. Let's see
Yes.
those numbers drop a little bit, or actually not a little bit because MVP is MVP, but like let's say a good level, they're still a 10, 11 win team with the roster alone. All they need is like just kind of medium quarterback play.
I think I think if Caleb Williams was on the Vikings instead of JJ McCarthy, I think they probably I think they'd be like 7 and I don't think they'd be this bad. I would think they would have won a majority. I think they'd have a winning record. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think they would be. I don't think they would be on top of the NFC North, but I think they would be in contention,
Yeah.
like in the NFC.
Yeah, and going back on the Bears with Caleb Williams trouble, when everyone was kind of shitting on him, I mean, I understood a little bit, but it's just like he lost to the Lions and he lost to the Vikings his first two starts this year. Those aren't terrible losses. And then,
Those are not bad losses.
they come back with a win and they get a win over the Raiders, and then they beat the Commanders, and they've routed up some good wins. Just like with the Bears, it's like Ben Johnson was a new coach; he was still learning stuff. Everyone's still getting used with how little teams are allowed to practice now.
Hmm.
Everyone's still getting used to that offense, and now that offense is perfectly like kind of like synced together. And another thing with Caleb Williams is so at USC he was very good off script. That's how he
Yes, he
won the
was.
Heisman. And Lincoln Riley's probably the best play caller in college football. But with the Bears, the Vikings game, he was great on script. In the first half, he was phenomenal. That first drive, I think Bears fans thought they were going to the Super Bowl. But in the second half, he unraveled because the game was not as scripted. So I think at first, Caleb Williams was very reliant on Ben Johnson in the scripted plays. Now he's feeling more comfortable. The run game's better. The O
Hmm.
line's starting to mesh, and he's feeling more confident in his own skin. So he doesn't need the scripted plays anymore, and he's starting to finally flourish. And I think there's an argument at the end of the year. I think like there's like an argument for Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Drake May to all be the best quarterback from the 2024 class by the end of this year.
I would agree. I think for the amount of hype Caleb Williams got, he has. I
Underperformed
don't
a little bit.
I don't want to say I would say like underperform. I always believe in giving, players time to develop, especially in the
Uh-huh.
league. You know, everyone I think, they're still learning. He's still like relatively what is he, like a second year player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so not much experience at all, right? Um, but when I look at this Bears like schedule and these wins, a lot of these are close wins against bad teams.
Yeah, I do understand that. And it's just I think they got a real schedule coming. They got the Steelers, they got the Packers twice. Like they got a real schedule coming up, so we'll find out about them very soon.
I think they'll win against the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think is coming back. They're talking about like
Oh, really?
a little bit of like a fracture in his wrist or whatever from
Okay,
today.
yeah, if he doesn't come back, then yeah, I mean, we could talk about
Eagles,
Steelers Bengals.
Steelers, Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, it just briefly, I mean, you kind of figured, I mean, it was a close game going into the fourth quarter. You kind of figured the Steelers would control the whole game, but where do the Steelers go without Aaron Rodgers, assuming he doesn't come back?
Who's the backup? Let me look this
Mason
up.
Rudolph.
Let me. Um, sorry, what was the question again?
Like, where do the Steelers go now? Assuming Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, the Steelers are
Let's look at the
what
schedule.
like 6-4. They got a pretty tough schedule coming up.
Bears, Bears, I think they'll lose. Bills lose. Ravens lose. Dolphins win.
Yeah.
Lions lose. Browns lose just I think through Miles
Yeah, they'll
Garrett.
probably split. If they play them twice, they'll probably split.
Yeah. There I if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, it looks like they lose almost all of these games.
Yeah. So kind of transition to another a game that was a phenomenal game. Panthers 30, Falcons 27. So Bryce Young's been very scrutinized in the NFL, but I could tell from this game he wants to be. I know everyone wants to be in the NFL, but Bryce Young wants to be there. Like,
Dude, I feel so bad for Bryce Young, to be honest.
really?
I
And
I
here's the
don't
thing,
think
I wasn't the biggest fan of him coming out of college, but
I yeah, me either, but I think just because of like his situation has been so bad for like the past couple of years, and then he turned it around last year for like a bit, and he had a rough start to the season. But I think I'm still like I'm not lost. I'm not like I'm not saying I'm high on him, but where people are like completely turned off on him, I'm not that yet either. I think there's still hope for
yeah.
Bryce
And
Young.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, his pass is phenomenal. If he was 6'3", 220 pounds, he would be a top 10 quarterback in the league. And that's
Yes,
just the reality. But the problem is he's like 5'9", 5'10". And it's just like, I will say, the
I
Falcons
want.
had this game won. I don't like I know
Yeah,
Penix
they
got
did.
injured, but I don't care. You're paying Kirk Cousins $27 million to back him up. Kirk Cousins should be able to like maintain that win. And maybe this roster isn't as good as we thought.
Dude, Kirk Cousins, what an overpay. And just to draft Penix like the follow like immediately, what are they doing? Like,
Yeah.
but
And Penix doesn't look great either. I mean, the Falcons are, I think, 3-6, yeah, I think they're 3-6 right now.
Penix
Oh,
doesn't
3-7,
Penix
my
hasn't
bad.
looked Penix
They're
hasn't
three and
looked
seven, so
great.
you're out of the playoff picture now. Like,
Yes, they're
well, technically one more loss, they're out of it, but like, and the Falcons were a team that I had a dark horse for making the playoffs. Like, I was like,
same.
like, I feel like they could be a scary team this year, and they've been, in my opinion, the biggest disappointment in the NFL.
I think so too. I think I was pretty high on the Falcons coming in on this. I mean, I can't like what else can be said about Bijan Robinson? Like he's amazing. But even like Drake May, and I'm sorry, not Drake May, Drake London. A lot of these people just have not like panned out as
Mhm.
much as we wanted them to. A lot of this roster, like Drake London, Kyle Pitts, um, Michael Penix, still getting used to the league. I'm not, I'm not sold on him at by
Mhm.
any means. I think Michael Penix could be a great quarterback in this league. I think he's still, kind of growing to his role. Um, but Falcons, like, where do you go from here? Like, where do you go with this, like, 200 mil, what was it? I'm sorry, $270 million contract with Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins. Like, where do you go from here as a franchise?
Yeah, and also like the defense didn't play too well today. I mean, they allowed Bryce Young like what close to 400 yards against it. But here's the thing: one of what concerns me a little bit, the Falcons took Raheem Morris from the Rams, right?
Hmm.
You can argue the Rams defense has been better since Raheem Morris has left.
Yeah, I would say so.
And the Falcons defense has not played kind of up to the par you'd expect from a defense. Like, for example, the Seahawks, the Seahawks, say what you want about their offense, the defense played phenomenal. Mike McDonald, defensive coach. Like, for example, Steelers, their defensive played relatively well. And even Robert Saleh with the 49ers, everyone's injured. That defense is playing phenomenal. So it's just I don't really know where you go from here. And then to transition, I kind of want to talk about two more games. So first off,
Hmm.
Ravens Browns. This was one of those games. It was 7.5 point spread. I think in ABL we predicted the Ravens to cover, but not too confidently. That Browns defense is good.
It is. Miles Garrett is a scary man.
Oh, and one of it's so funny, like the fact that Micah Parsons is getting paid more than Miles Garrett. And I mean, here's the thing, like I would have given up 3 first round picks for Myles Garrett. It's easier to say in
Hmm.
hindsight, but at the time, if you would have told me the Chiefs, if you would have told me the Chiefs gave up 3 first round picks for Myles Garrett, I would have been sign me up. I
Hmm.
would have been all,
Do you have Myles Garrett above Micah Parsons?
oh yeah. I think there's a clear hierarchy.
Clear gap.
I think it's Garrett, Bosa, and Crosby up here, and then I think T.J. Watt's kind of right here, and I think Micah Parsons is like right here.
Oh, I wouldn't say Micah's that low.
Well, I mean, he's still top five, top six edge rusher in the NFL. It's just there's so many good. I would say I would probably take Jared Verse over Micah Parsons.
I mean, Micah Parsons won the Packers the game today.
Yeah, I know. And just touching on that real fast, it's like the Packers. I mean, that offense is going to get them in trouble. That defense is great, but that offense is going to come back to bite them in the ass.
Are you high on Jordan Love?
No,
Mm,
I mean, I think he's outside of the top. I think he's in the 9 to 15 quarterback range.
okay.
Like
Did
I can name all the quarterbacks I've rather had in no order: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, just to kind of get the obvious ones out of the way. I'd rather have Baker Mayfield. I'd rather have Matt Stafford. I'd rather have Drake May. I'd rather have Jaden Daniels.
Yep. I haven't
I,
disagreed yet.
yeah, I'd rather have. So I'm just kind of going division by division. Um,
What about CJ Stroud?
I'll take Jordan Love. I'd rather have Sam Darnold actually.
That's an interesting one.
I'd rather have Dak Prescott's close.
I would most definitely have that. I think Dak Prescott is a
Yeah.
good
And then I'd
quarterback,
rather
and
have Jalen Hurts. So he's probably in the
yeah,
13 to 14 range, but it's just the their offense needs to like kind of kick it up.
the Packers they made some good plays at the end of the game, though. I will say
Hmm.
the offense did make some good plays, but did you? I had higher expectations coming in to the season for Jordan Love. I don't know,
I wasn't too high. I mean, I picked the Packers to miss the playoffs. I wasn't very high on the Packers.
really.
I thought they would have like one of the best defenses in the league, but I was not high on that offense. They're probably going to make the
Mm,
playoffs, but it's just I think they get first rounded. Um,
okay.
Especially against like when them not playing well against the Giants. Then one final game I want to talk about. It just wrapped up. Eagles 16, Lions 9. So I figured the Eagles would win. So
Yes.
in a video that comes out tomorrow, I talked with Finn Blackson, who's also an ABL sports analyst, and he's a big Philly guy. And we predicted the game. I said Eagles win 30 to 27. It's very low scoring, so I was wrong. But I kind of figured they would control the whole game, and they did. And the Lions, I mean, 0 for 5 on fourth down, just couldn't get their act together. And I
Mm-mm.
mean, the Eagles just keep winning.
Eagles are a scary team, man. I think moving forward without Lane Johnson, is he coming back? Do we know?
I don't know. I really don't know on that one.
That's a big
That's a
hit.
big loss though, because like he's a captain. He is like
That is a big hit. Um, but yeah, I mean the Eagles have been looked good. Their offense at times have struggled. I feel like has struggled. Um, I feel like you know they're not as I would say I don't know how if you take this in the right way like explosive. I won't say they're as explosive
no,
as
I
last year.
agree. I agree. They feel a little like just limited right now.
Yeah, I
But I also don't like this offensive coordinator. I think he's got to get
uh
fired.
I was higher. Okay, to be honest, I was higher on the Eagles coming in this season. I mean, they're still, they're still 8-2. They're still a great team, but I thought some of these like games they've like have been closer than they should have been for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, it's just really not much to talk about from that game. I think the lines will be fine. It was just, it was just Philly's night.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, had a good.
so any other takeaways you have from this week that you want to?
I'm just so sad about Sam Darnold, bro. Not even one touchdown.
Oh yeah, no, that was, but I think they're gonna bounce back. I think the Seahawks will be fine. So we
Yeah.
appreciate you guys watching. I think me and Deb doing a Sunday recap. It's gonna be a regular weekly thing for the rest of the season,
Oh yeah.
and then we'll talk some NBA too in the future. And
Oh
then
yeah. We'll get into the NBA.
yeah, but yeah, so thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.